Okay, so this is gonna be a bit sort of kind of spoilers, I guess. But the video I'm gonna be talking about is obviously some of Matt Pat's stuff. He's part of the Game Theorists. Now, again, obviously no affiliation here, no affiliation with anything that goes on in the video. But I just want to mention that he did a very good job about covering his stuff. He covered all the bases. Now, again, I talk about some other stuff in here. Now, I also just want to mention there's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now on YouTube, so don't be afraid if I don't upload for a couple of days here and there. Don't be afraid if I just don't upload. It's not that I'm leaving. It's just that there's a bunch of stuff that's happening, not YouTube related, and I kind of need to, get a bit more of my other stuff squared away. And I need to go start ranting at YouTube to, get me my, fucking approve me already. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoy the video. Oh my god, I hope you guys enjoy the video. So that being said, guys, enjoy. Fuck, wait. Damn. Look at everybody, Pack here, and this video is actually going to be... This video idea is actually made by GX. He actually said that... Well, for a while, there was a bunch of stuff going on. Like in 2017, the whole Battlefront 2 loot box bullshit that happened. Well, GX put something up on the Discord, and thank you for that, but he said something along the lines of, he put like a game theory video up about loot boxes. Now, there's something interesting about that, because I've mentioned something along the lines of the confirmed summon in the Brave Frontier Japan version, and for a long time I kept saying the reason why we don't have that on global or Europe is because there really aren't that many laws regarding that. So what's interesting is he put up something that's, again, was very interesting to me, and I watched both part 1 and part 2, and I kind of want to extend on what Matt Pat was talking about in those videos. So obviously when GX was talking, he said, like, I was completely self-aware of the fact, and just letting you all know, there's going to be no more summon videos on any game I do. There's going to be no more summon videos, like no more summon videos for Brave Frontier, no more on Phantom of the Kill, no more on any other game, because again, there's not only me trying to be able to save stuff up for myself, but me being able to actually put some stuff aside and say, like, because at the end of the day, the reason why we got, like, a lot of the stuff, like the reason why we got, like, Brave Insignia and all this other stuff on global is because the Japan version was criticized, and for a while it was like both the Japan version and the global version were highly criticized of having unfair gacha systems, which is when you see those little gates that pop up, whether it be the red gate to the rainbow gate, or the rainbow gate to the omni gate, or the yellow gate to the rainbow gate, that is that is in definition a gacha system, because it is a game that uses this kind of system, which basically means you get a random shot at any point in time. You get anything. So let me see. Your mechanics inspired by gachapones, basically randomly generated items of varying values. So what's interesting is that that's exactly what Brave Frontier, Phantom of the Kill, and Alchemist Code rely on, and other games, to get their money. They rely on this kind of a system. Now, the reason why they do that is because, again, it's easier to spend money to try to get a unit than just buy it outright. But as I mentioned before, even in Brave Frontier Japan, you still have to buy the gems to buy the unit. So what's really interesting is that the article I'm looking at says examples are Brave Exvius, Fire Emblem Heroes, Puzzles and Dragons, Dragon Collection, and Grand Blue Fantasy, and Monster Strike. Now, I think there was something about Grand Blue Fantasy that made it completely stop. because it was something called a combo gacha or complete gacha, which means you need to get all items in one set. Now, what's interesting is Brave Frontier could be considered that way because a lot of the units have certain buffs that pair well with other units. And sometimes you can't have a very powerful team unless you have those other units. Like right now, apparently Kawab, the new crocodile dude, is like the water version of Carnamasta. Now, what's interesting is that a lot of people now are starting to realize this, in that you're not getting the unit you want in the amount of summons. Like, I sometimes allot like 20 summons or 10 summons to a specific unit. I will do more only if I really feel like getting the unit. Like, I hate to say it, but Persinet and Siardha and Kawab, I really wanted to get them. But one, I don't have enough money. Two, it's not benefiting me in any way, shape, or form. So now we have to now I went back and like kind of tried thinking about it. But what's interesting is that it mentions again the method, the Kampu Gacha, is declared illegal by Japan's Consumer Affairs Agency in 2012. So in mid 2012, the Kampu Gacha system was announced completely illegal. Now, if you're wondering why both gachas exist in Brave Frontier Japan, is that some people might want to have that fun of having to roll, or, you know, it's an easy way because they have to update the game every time they want to fix that free gacha. And the very interesting thing here is that if we don't do something, it's going to be very painful for a lot of other players to actually get anything. And again, it says it banned certain practices, and many players also feel regret after making purchases. And I do feel that way too, because Brave Frontier has not been the best game for me. Sadly, I'm actually planning on leaving Brave Frontier 1. When Brave Frontier 2 comes out, I'm not going to be doing Brave Frontier 1 anymore. Like, that's it. I'll log in. I'll do my daily logins. I'll get the best unit, maybe. But after that, I'm not doing anything more with Brave Frontier 1. So I wanted you all to know that, like, right now. Because I kind of threw a lot at this game and got literally nothing in return. The only good thing is I wound up getting 3 Bjorns of the, Bjorn's the Christmas unit. I got 3 of him in like a couple of summons. So either, like I mentioned before in a previous video, it could be completely random. It could be like Pokemon. Now, if you don't know what Pokemon, is, we'll explain that whole thing later. But let me explain this. In Pokemon, you actually have something called it's an RNG, which means random number generator. It's in the game. It exists in the game. So what happens is the numbers are picked out of the odds of 00000 or all F, which is the last hexadecimal digit that exists. Now, what's interesting, not the last hexadecimal number that exists, but it's one of the last. So what's interesting is that if you get all F or all 0, those are considered pure binary, which means it's binary repeating, which means it's all the same thing. But those bytes actually go in like all F. I don't know what the F value is, but the 0 is literally just 0. So we're going to go with that. So a lot of those numbers actually a lot of those numbers wind up going back into the game, and they adjust the numbers based on your trainer ID. So it's a number, the RNG is based on your trainer ID. So every time you load the game, it runs this thing before you start. And the minute you push the start button, it locks into a certain number. Now, if the number, depending on like what values the numbers are, there are timers out there that can help you with this. Pokemon Emerald, most importantly. Like they have there's a Japanese one that's out there, but it times it to the second that you push. It times it like a millisecond that you push the start button and it locks in that number. And that number pretty much says, this is your odds of, like, it's still 1,800. It's still 8,192. But it goes, this is the value of your opportunity to step on a tile that could have this. That's what I think Brave Frontier is like. It's like you log in and it clocks into the second it connects and checks all the files. And it goes, okay, this is your odds of getting like this unit. And this is your odds of getting another unit. And this is your odds of getting another unit. It also depends on what type of connection you have. 3G, 4G, 5G. I don't know how that could vary, but again, it's all very technical and it's very math related, that it's far beyond what I can say and do on this channel, because if I did that, it would wind up being like a 2.5 hour video, and I don't want to do that. Now, they said the Combo Gacha has that they did this, they completely outlawed them to prevent unjustifiable extras or unexpected benefit and misleading representation, which basically means you either get something that's bad, that's deemed bad, or something that's deemed good. And again, it really kind of throws players into a very awkward spot. Like, it misleads a ton of players. Like, Brave Frontier does this a lot. Like, they mislead players a lot. Like, they have the double connecting thing that happens on random. The double connecting has to be at least 9 files or bigger when you summon a unit. If it says connecting and it says downloading files, if you look at the bottom, there's like a number. It'll say like, it'll be like 0 divided by something. So if you see, like, if it says 9 or if it's larger, that means you got the unit. But if it doesn't show that, you didn't get the unit. Or you most likely did, but it just didn't connect. Or it already downloaded the files. But, even then, it doesn't help, because sometimes you get a rainbow gate and it'll connect, but it'll show like 6 or 8. It'll show like 8 and under. It'll show like one of those numbers. And you get like a red gate, which is not good right now. And then it opens up a rainbow gate and you get like a really bad unit. This is why Japan has also done black gate guaranteed things, because it's like, black gates are the best quality units you can get, while rainbow gates and under are the worst units you can get, unless the unit is a 6-star that can be evolved into an Omni evolution. But even then, it's very, very, very rare to find one of those nowadays, especially since the rare summon is gone. The 3-gem summon, that's completely gone at this point. We only have the 5-gem summons. And also, it's the first 3 items rapidly acquired. Basically, under the Complete Gacha rules, the player must attempt to complete a set of common items in order to get a rarer item or a better effect. The first 2 items in a set can be rapidly acquired, but as the number of missing items decreases, it becomes increasingly unlikely that redeeming something will complete that set. So that means you can, like, okay, we're gonna go on the side like Valkyrie Connect or some other game that does this. Basically, you get a piece of equipment and you need multiple versions of like different things of that same type. Like, let's say you get like one thing and it has like a set item boost. You're going to want to get more of that type of item to finish that boost. But if you don't get that, it becomes the odds of you getting that item, the more you get, becomes less and less and less. So that's really bad. This is particularly true if there are a large number of common items in the game, since eventually one single specific item is required. That, again, is specifically like a lot of other games out there. It's, again, kind of like Brave Frontier, because there's so many other units out there. Like the New Year's batch. Like the New Year's summon, I'm sorry. It goes up from Koyak to the Allen batch, which is, Koyak is like one of the first 3 Omni evolutions, to Allen, which is more of the recent ones, including all the Uprising units, which is about 5 or 6. So the bad part is that the one unit you want to get has benefits for one type of unit. Like right now, the water unit has beneficial buffs for specifically water type units, and you might go like, oh, well, it's not that bad. We'll just we'll summon a few times and try to get him. But some people don't get them until way later. Look at Ushi with his Nefrit. He spent over, well, he had to spend a lot of money, but he's spent over 100 summons trying to get one unit and did not get that unit. He got a bunch of other units, but he didn't get the one unit he needed. And at the time, there was only like one or two of these specific extra units. Now, obviously, the model was declared illegal by Japan's Consumer Affairs Agency in 2012. It Japanese mobile game developers, including GREE and DNA, worked to establish a self-regulating industry group, the Japan Social Game Association, which was an attempt to coerce developers from these models. It did not prove successful, and the association was disbanded by 2015. So basically, I think these guys, the Japan Social Game Association, tried to fix. Let me see. Where is it? Okay. So, for a while, these guys. Okay, so for a while, the CEO of GREE and the CEO of DNA, also with Mixie, Cyber Agent, Durango, and Line, their CEOs, they all tried to make a way to be able to not only, like, I don't know how to say this really, but they tried to regulate like a lot of the game industry, and like a lot of these like Kampugachas, they tried to regulate them, or they tried to get like some special rules that they could do something with. They wanted to regulate the gaming industry, they wanted to ensure a proper gaming environment for younger players, and they wanted to improve the quality of customer support and customer relations. But sadly, it disbanded in 2015. Sad news, but what's interesting is that not only did they completely disband in 2015, but for a while they tried to do something, but for 3 years they couldn't get it right, and they had to disband, which now means even then the Kampugachas are still outlawed in Japan. Now again, if I did get anything wrong, please let me know down below. But as far as I am concerned, let me see. What else can I say here? Besides a lot of these other games, pretty much, a lot of more Japanese style games being gacha based, but they are still free to play, which is interesting. It is a very interesting topic. Like, I really didn't get into this until GX said that, and I watched those videos where it was very interesting to see all this stuff. But I really do think in a way loot boxes can be dangerous, but at the end of the day, like what MatPat said, the opinions on loot boxes are not going to be based on big figureheads like big figureheads of gaming or big figureheads of YouTube, but they're going to be based on what you think and what you want to spend on. If you feel like spending like about like $50 on shit for your game, go ahead, by all means do so. But keep in mind that the loss that you might experience will be greater. Now, obviously, the loss aversion thing and a lot of the other things they talked about would become more prevalent in, more Japanese games, more gacha-based games, where it keeps saying that you get special rate ups, but at the end of the day, you don't feel like that. So technically, at the end of the day, Gumi's rate up system is like a placebo. It says you get rate ups, but you don't. You feel like you get a better shot at getting the unit. Again, look at Ushi. The thing on his thing said you would have like 10 times the odds to get one specific unit, but he had to spend over 90 to 100 summons trying to get that one unit. So at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not going to start spending on Brave Frontier again. I'm not going to start spending on Phantom of the Kill again. I will only spend on these games if there's a unit that is actually good. Now, if there's like obviously a thing that will boost, your level, or boost boost you as a player, like get you higher up on like the leaderboards or whatever, then so be it. Have fun. But I'm not going to start spending money on games right now. I've got a bunch of other stuff to worry about. I really do wish that there was a lot more. It would have been more interesting if he kind of elaborated on not only just loot boxes, but on gacha systems as well. Now, obviously, I know I've missed and skipped over a lot of stuff, so this is not a complete review, but this is just a minor, obviously a minor sort of kind of thing that I wanted to mention. I might, no, I'm not going to put that. I don't feel like I want to put that in the description because, again, it is a bit of a bigger topic that leads to a larger problem, but I want to be one of those other people out there who just kind of says this stuff, like who kind of gives ideas and things, and tries to enlighten people out there. But, like, at the end of the day, though, the whole gacha system is going to become like one of the. It's going to become one of the bigger juggernauts that we'll ever see. So that could become a problem, but I don't think at the end of the day it will become much of a problem if we just don't let it happen. So, just don't be consumed entirely by gachas. Like, I hate to say it, guys, but a lot of the guys on the Discord channel are quite a bit obsessed with, like, summoning for all the new units. But at the end of the day, it's like the Gumi rate up system is a complete placebo. That's the reason why when Europe does it, they actually do it with a bit of meaning behind it. Now, again, it's very interesting to see and hear from, again, Matt Pat, that all these other stuff, like all this, like, obviously all those systems were happening. And if there's anything I have to say about, anything he mentioned, is that maybe next time, again, just cover a bit more of the official, like, gacha system. Like, cover things like Brave Frontier, like what happened there. Cover things that happened with other games, like, pretty much games that you need to, make other equipment, like you summon for equipment, like the Alchemist Code. Obviously, the Alchemist Code is the pure definition of a combo gacha because you need not only units, and not only do you need special weapons, but you need other stuff to evolve them with. So, that's all I've got to say. Again, if I missed or skipped over anything, just remember, this is not a complete video. This is not by any means complete. I just want to let y'all know that. So that being said, guys, that is all for now. Sorry for this other micro kind of talk video about me and other stuff, but it was just brought to my attention, and apparently I was like self-aware for like a very long time. And I knew that Gumi was doing something. Like, I caught on to Gumi's tricks pretty quickly. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not summoning for any other units. Until Ravenna and Randolph get their fucking summon gate again, I will not summon for any other units. Okay, that is final. So if Ravenna, Randolph, they get their gate back, I'll be more than happy to summon. But it doesn't seem like they're going to be getting their gate back, so I'm not going to summon. So there's that for now. That being said, guys, again, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me in the comments down below what I can do. And that being said, guys, again, please be sure to show your support, help me out. And with that being said, guys, have a great day.